So, my name is John Brooker. I'm so delighted that we've got two friends of mine on here today. We've got Petra and Jesper. I can't think how many years of SF experience they've got between them, facilitation experience. They're just brilliant facilitators and they're brilliant at SF as well. So I'm just going to hand over to them and I'll just come in for a minute at the end. Jesper, Petra, enjoy.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you
for this nice introduction. The Solution Cafe was something that we developed, a colleague of mine with whom I'm working in Romania, with Peatey, and we had the idea to make something. How can we make the whole solution-focused coaching as light as possible, as easy for people who have no clue about coaching, have no clue about solution-focused, that they can experience somehow the magic of it that can happen when we just create space and we give people time to think and switch the perspective to what is wanted, talking about what is wanted or solution talk instead of digging into the problem. And we have developed this game together and we're doing actually networking events. Most of the time we do them face-to-face, that people are meeting. And now with the pandemic and together with with Jesper, who's really, I really admire Jesper, you know, how you bring things which are face-to-face, how you bring them to an online version. I remember when we did the trainings we started to do the trainings together when the pandemic started, and we said, it's impossible to do these kind of trainings online. It's impossible. And Jesper said, of course it's possible to do this online. And I participated in some of the trainings. And I thought, yes, it's so much more possible to do things online. Otherwise, it would be impossible to meet, you know, with all of you from 3 different continents where we are now. So it is a very light form, as you all know already, solution focused. I don't need to say anything about that, but the idea was to really create a very light form for people who have no clue. And we use it in trainings also, but also at networking events, just for people to experience what is this all about. And I'm happy to do this evening together with Jesper. Together. And I'm really happy how you brought it with the instructions and everything to a new level.
Yeah. Petra's Solution Cafe had been around for a long time and in a physical state, as she mentioned. And then actually it was because of the Swiss Solution Focused Association, the NLA, that actually said, listen, we're going to have a meeting and not everybody can attend in person. So do something, you know. Why can't we do something like Petra's Solution Cafe, but online? And actually, so I can't really take credit for all of it because I was asked to do that specifically. But I sat down and had a look at it and figured out actually, hey, this could work, you know. And we made some instructions and we thought of it. So we did it with some of the members of the Swiss association. And then we offered afterwards the instructions how to do it, just like when you have Petra's physical cards and instructions and all that. And then afterwards, I was thinking, hey, this is quite cool, actually. Not that bad, because I was a little bit thinking like Petra as well. So, you can't really do that in online because you have this meeting up and this chatting with each other and all that. Mm-hmm. But it works much better than I expected. So actually, I asked Petra if she wanted to do it together with me for SFIO. You know, say, hey, come on, let's do it. Now it's in German, but what if it's in English and we can spread out this format of Solution Cafe? So what you're going to get, you're going to try it out. We're going to run it through with you, and afterwards you will get some links to some instructions so you can use it yourself. And this is not instead of the physical activities. It's an alternative if you're not capable of meeting up with people, or if it's easier for you to do it online. So of course it cannot compare with being in the same room with people, but maybe it can give you some inspiration and ideas. And there are some resources on what we're going to give you afterwards, so you can also do it in person, so you can make your own decision what you find the most suitable for your situation. Should we start up with warming up, Petra?
Yep.
Yeah, so we have a menu. We have an app. So it's a Solution Cafe, right? So we have a 3-course menu. We have an appetizer. to start out with. Then we have the main course, which of course will take a bit longer, and then we have a nice dessert at the end. So we'd like to start up with a appetizer and put you into, we're not that many people, but put you into 2 groups in the breakout rooms. John, and I have a question here for you. What did you do in the last 36 hours that you are particularly happy about? It can even be something what you really would tap yourself on the back and say, hey, I did that really well. And then you share with each other. You get 12 minutes. That should be about that. And I think if it's okay with you that Petra and I are jumping in and listen well, so we can say maybe if you get finished earlier, we can go on to the main course, you know, really mumping some really delicious stuff. So approximately 12 minutes. I will take the time. Did you like your appetizer? Did it taste well? Yes. And especially when you're in a room together with Jerry, who just made a huge meal for his people, and you think, oh, here's an expert. Did I do something that tastes well enough? The next round is the main course. And actually, we will do rounds enough for all of you. And now we are in for the real good fun. That means when you're back in your groups, I will give some instructions, and then I will give you a link in the chat, because you will go back into your groups and then you will figure out who wants to bring in a topic. Say, I'm thinking about something, and I really would like to get some input on that. So you figure out who wants to go and say, oh, yeah, I have one topic. You will all get the time to bring in a topic of your own. So it's just about who is the first one. And then you will get, I will show this one. I will put the link in the chat. But you will get a set of cards with questions on it. And if one is the person who has a topic, then the 3 others decide who is the first one to ask a question, who's the second one, who's the third one. And the round goes like those who ask the question, they click on the cards, and then, whoops, you can see, you explain what is your topic, what you want to talk about, what would you like to have input about. And then the other ones start, they will have a link to the cards. So only the ones who have the link to the cards will see the questions. The person who is having the topic will not see them. So you choose a question and think, which of your resources are particularly helpful concerning your topic right now? And then the person answers, and the next one in the questioning round, pick her or his card and ask that. And then the third one will pick a card from his cards and then ask that question. And the person with the topic has 2, what do you call it? Can do 2 things. You can get a question and you can say, it's a nice question, but no, thank you. Can you give me another question, please? Then the person who asked the question can click another guy and ask a new question. Or the person with the topic can say, actually, I have enough input now. Thank you very much for your help. So you can stop if you say, okay, I have enough. I'm far enough with my topic. I can go on from here. Unless you want to use all the 15 minutes you will get for this round. And of course, the one who asks the questions can pick a question and say, nah, I don't like that question. And since you're the only one who can see the cards, you can cheat, and then you can just click on a new question. So, I much better like that one. I will ask that to the person. And of course, at some times you can say, I keep getting some questions I'm not quite sure about, so you can just shuffle them, and then you start from over again. To sum up, you will go into your groups, you will figure out who are the first one to bring in a topic that you would like to talk about, and whatever topic that's important to you is important. Of course, we have this confidentiality, so that means we have a conversation in the room, So when we go back to the room, we don't start talking, oh, by the way, I think you should. So we leave the conversation in the breakout rooms, right? And you have access to the questions here. I put you the link. So you can click on the links, hopefully. So please click on it and see if it opens correctly. And otherwise, let me know. You need to juggle a little bit because you will have a window with the questions on, and then you, of course, would like to see the people you are talking with. So you need to figure out how do you do that on your screen. So has everybody, are you able to open the link and see the questions? Super. So in this round, you will get 15 minutes maximum. Yes. No further talking. Let's go in. You will all get to be the person who brings in a topic, but this first 15 minutes, we would like to call you back afterwards just to make a little checkup. Is everything working? Is it well enough and all that? Does the main course need a little bit more salt or pepper or whatever who needs? And then we will go send you back again for the rest of the rounds.
Listen, the person, one person has a topic and the others just ask these questions, which is beautiful card deck that Jesper has developed, and gives the other person just time to think. And while you're listening to the answers the person says, just listen to what in between the story, what the person tells, what does it tell about the person? Just listen to that while you were asking the questions, and see when you're coming back to get another second step.
So shouldn't we just rush back to the groups again and give
before the second person starts with her or his topic, give some resource feedback to the person who just shared the topic. So what did you recognize? What are some qualities? What are some talents that you could kind of see in the story that the person was sharing? And even for a little bit, what are your positive assumptions about how the person is leading? And what are the qualities? We have 2 minutes feedback now for the first round, and then we move to the second person with 10 minutes asking questions, and then 2 minutes feedback round, and then again the third person 10 minutes asking question, 2 minutes feedback round. I'm waiting for your first question.
Yeah.
I know my topic.
You know your
I know my topic.
Yeah, of course.
Give me time to think.
So
considering
considering your topic, Petra, what would be the slightest change in the right direction that you would notice?
So change in the right direction is more ease, more lightness, more accepting that this is the way it is, and to plan less, to be more in the moment. And I kind of enjoy the dance instead of being frustrated that sometimes things don't move in the way I am. I want to like things to move, and that sometimes I think that would be the biggest difference, the lightness.
Who would you want to thank if you succeeded in what you are trying to do, and what would you thank them for?
So I would thank my husband for his patience and for being with me in this dance, which is not always so easy, and for his support, and also some colleagues of mine with whom I'm working together. That they accept that maybe some things I will not do anymore, and that's the way it is, that this is the way how life goes on, and some things are changing, even if it's nice to do, and it's still working, but things have their time, and that they accept it, even when that might be a little bit frustrating, and then to trust that out of this something new will emerge out of this.
And Petra, what are you really in the mood for?
That's a good question. What I'm really in the mood for. There's some there's some projects I really enjoy very much. So it gives me a lot of energy, which is this constellation work, which I'm doing for 20 years. And I'm still fascinated about that. And I'm going to go on a supervision workshop now tomorrow morning. I will go there. And I really like to learn. I really like to learn, to discover, to experiment with colleagues. And yeah, this is something I'm really in the mood for. And what I'm also very much in the mood for, I really just enjoy simple life with friends, do something, cook something together, go for a walk, and just enjoy life and whatever happens on a day. Yeah, but I needed both. I like both. I like this relaxation part, and I like really this exploration, this learning, this discovery, the discussions, the intellectual discussions also. Yeah, it's both. I cannot live only from chocolate. I need both. I need also, yeah, even with the things that you really like, if you do them every day, it's getting boring.
Don't overdo it. Yes.
I really like the variety. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do your friends, family, or colleagues particularly appreciate about you?
I often hear they like the sparkling I have, that I can kind of contagious, can bring people in a good energy. And the nicest compliment I got from the boyfriend of my daughter once, he said, Petra, you're like a rainbow that just explodes right in your face. And in your present, you believe you can do anything. I really like that compliment.
Where does your energy come from?
Oh, that's a good question. Where does my energy come from? I have moments when I don't have energy and I don't really know what to do. So normally I reach out with other people, but something that really gives me energy is interaction with people. And of course I need also my time for myself, that I'm just doing nothing, or really doing nothing. Thanks for the question, Inge. We need to put it into the deck.
This energy is one of your resources. Which of your resources, this energy or other resources, are particularly helpful concerning your project, your topic?
Yes, I think the energy is helping me because I really can move a lot, and I literally like a lot to travel. I really like it, this change. And I can get excited about projects. So I really can get excited, and then I make things happen. So I just had this conversation with a friend today, and we said about, hey, we just like to do things. We just like to spend time together. We said, hey, let's see what we can do together. We're not really clear about what it's going to be, but I'm confident, about saying this several times, having the intention, something will happen. We're going to do something together. I remember, John, when the five, we were meeting in Elfaro, we said, we don't really know what are we going to do here, but we just like to be together. And then there were many beautiful projects were emerging out of this, the book and the building bridges, and it's just being together with people. I think this is it for me. This energy, being together with people, and out of this something new is happening. I think Kati said it once on a conference. He said, when people are meeting, something is magical. Something magical can happen when people really, really connect. And my trust into that, I think that is also a resource, with not knowing really what to do, but trusting that out of this connection and the energy, something is happening.
Shall we give you some feedback now? Jerry, Inge?
Just one reflection that striking me is that the connection in the research for more lightness, more accepting, and plan less more. And Petra, you said almost everything you said later was you showing that you know how to do that. Your mood for learning, your capacity to connect, your energy to connect, and to do something with people without knowing in advance what to do, but just connecting and see what happens.
I think we have to close the room now. So
that's great. That's good. You can spend so much more time. In a good conversation, you never have enough time. So how did you like the main course?
Well cooked.
Well cooked. Very good. Yes, you can thank Petra and Ian for that. So should we take, we are not that many people, so should we take this dessert
I
together?
think so. We can do it in
Yes.
the plenary. Yeah, just okay. We have
Yes.
about 5 minutes to see. Take some time for the dessert.
So the question for this dessert is, what has inspired you in these conversations? I mean, you are the one who got some questions asked in a topic of yours that's interesting for you. You are the one who are listening in and asking the questions, and you're trying it out. What inspired you? What did you like about being together with these really nice people and having these talks?
I can start. I got a lot out of his questions, and I've also found a way to use them. And also put Jesper's or somebody's name. How much can we share the link?
It's open for everybody.
It's open for everybody. Cool. Yes, because I would really like to use that. So they were really very, very good.
So if we should dwell a bit about the conversation, so what did you find interesting? What do you find exciting with these people, what you were talking about and how you were talking about it?
I love the way they talked about their strengths and resources and how they found their ways into it to find their own solution. And I mean, we, as from the topic in our group, as we were starting, and I brought the first topic, I haven't even told about what it is. And we started with the question, and it moved on smoothly, and we've got Ibrahim joined later, and so it doesn't matter. It's a conversation. It's about listening, and yeah, we were, at least I can only speak for me. I was a little bit sneaky because I sometimes use the question like as a start thinking, and then listening to what the client or the person who talks was saying, and then combined it. So gives them a little bit more, so kind of creating. But so yeah, and it's also interesting when you shuffle through and then think, nah, skip, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Maybe it would have worked. So you do your own judge of it. So you don't know actually. So that is also interesting. So kind of when actually you decide to ask which question, or actually could you have just ask a different one and it would be useful as it was this one? Or maybe the one I thought was useful was not useful and the other one would have more useful. So you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
If I may say, I just found that the fact that you don't have to say what your issue is liberating for everybody. Actually, it's really, yeah. You don't get any preconceived ideas. It's a really nice thing to do.
I can share my thoughts. I enjoy the feedback parts of our conversation because it actually brings how we listen. So solution focused questions, okay, we can replicate it in any way, but how we listen in solution focused ways. So when you hear the feedbacks, the compliments, it shows and it reveals that how we listen with solution focused ear.
And for me, it's again, sometimes when we organize these events, I go also in, sometimes I'm tired and I think, it's late, do we really need to do that? And then when I'm going, also something like now, there's some spaces, there's some people coming later, so I'm going in the group, and it's every time, if I just participated, it's every time the same. It always gives me energy, and it's always kind of that it gives me new ideas when I bring in my topic. It's just this 10 minutes about reflecting on it, and with these questions, with the space that people do, with the curiosity, listening without even sharing what's on my mind. And it always brings me something. I'm still surprised about the simplicity and, how this solution-focused approach can do its magic. Even if we know how it's working, it still works.
No, but the other thing, what I'm impressed with each time we do it, is that this how exciting it is to listen to other people's stories.
Yeah.
To what they bring in, what they tell, and with this, yes, this resource-oriented focus, like Ibrahim, you mentioned this also, the resource gossip, this, what are we listening for when we are listening to, I was together with Brian and with Victoria, and it was so interesting to just hear what they were talking about. And their world are so different from mine, but still it's so inspiring.
Yes, and if I can add on what you have just said, Jesper, I think we were always speaking about several layers, because we're speaking about personal things, but also those things are, I would say, global. Because Brian was speaking about his relationship with his wife and how to support her. Yeah, but at the same time he was speaking about the women's leadership, and this is a global problem. Yeah, and about relationship between white male and African females. Yeah, and these are very important things that people have been discussing at the conferences. Yeah, so it's always amazing that we always communicate on different layers, and personal layer is only a starting point, I would say. So
I appreciated that, right? I'm in a group with strangers, and one thing I was talking about is that I love meaningful conversations, and I love that this brought you straight to meaningful conversations, right? And that's wonderful that you can spend sort of more like laser focused, right? Like just jump right into a meaningful conversation with people that I don't know, right? I don't know any of you. So that's just something that was really wonderful about the space.
Exactly. If I may add on that, it's like when John says, you don't need to tell what the topic is. You could just jump right into it and it's still meaningful. And on the other hand, you can also choose to tell what the topic is. We did that in our group. So there's no conversation that's the same. So the word you're using, meaningful, really makes a lot of sense. It's meaningful for the people who are participating, and they do it in the way they want to do it.
This element gives me the idea about using those kind of exercise, leaving the difference between you explain the topic, then you ask question, or you don't say anything and start right from and make the experiment. So to have a clue about what it means to explain. So this could be, this gives me an idea of leaving the two, and so what the difference and what does it mean to explain something. Okay, thank you.
So I need to show you something before I hand over the word to John. So this is the Padlet. It's called a Padlet, like a pin wall, digital pin wall, where we have putting on the different kinds of instructions. And of course, they're a little bit different than with the real cards, but I think with a little bit of imagination, you can work it out. Otherwise, just contact me or Petra if you have questions. You can do that anytime if you need help with it. So a bit of a welcome, a bit of the roles that you are. You have the people who raise a topic. You have the people who ask questions. You have links on this one to the question cards. And I will update it so you get links for the German online questions as well. So you have Petra also have different kind of languages actually on how to do it. So if you're interested in that, just let us know. We have the menu, appetizer, approximately 12 minutes, main course, 15 minutes if you have time for that. A dessert, full round of sharing, 12 minutes. So you have sort of a structure for the conversation. I'll add a little bit of a background. I think Petra and Ian deserve some credit for what the good work they have done, and the online version for me. So if you have questions for that, please just feel free to ask. And Petra's English manual, you can have a link to that. And I know there's a German version of that made by Anna Julius Sabo, if you're up for that. And I hope we can expand it. So it's a Padlet. It will be there for almost the end of the world, I think, unless there's a electricity breakdown or something like that. And I'll put on here, a bit about solution focus, just very, very short. And I've just took the 3 most obvious links I could come in to think of. Maybe you said, oh, something is missing. Then send me a mail. I'll be happy to put some more links on it. SFIO, of course, that's where we are today. They're really a huge resource if you want to know something about SF. And the Journal of Solution Focused Practice, and then also the Solwell community, their mailing list. It's a nice way to be in a community with people. So this is the one. This is how it looks like. Quite simple. You can go on it, and Ingemo, you are allowed to share it with whomever you want to. The link is here in the chat. So these are the resources that you have. And otherwise, you can find Petra and me on LinkedIn, whatever. So if you need to come back to us and say, I didn't get that, how to, then please contact us.
I'm happy to share the card set as we used to do it at the beginning when we didn't do it on it, but face-to-face. So as a PDF with all the questions, which you can print out and cut out so that you really have them simply to play with. And I did it on some soul conferences and where I did it as a workshop. And I'm very happy because there are people from all over the world, and I sent them the cards, and then they translated them into Hungarian, Greek, Romanian. We have it, of course, I think Spanish and Chinese already. And I'm really happy when we make it more and more international. So if you use them, you translate them in your language, I would be very happy when you send it back to me so that we kind of make a library from all the solution cafes in the world with different languages.
If you could do one thing for me, which is to just write something in the chat, a little piece of appreciation for Petra and Jesper about today's session. Yeah. Thank you both for your creativity. Thank you so much. Your SF engagements and creativity. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity, for being here and creating this. Sorry, they're jumping about the place. So creating this free resource for us to share with our communities and share good conversation. Thanks for an idea. I will try next week with a group. Thank you all so much for this energizing meeting full of good resources. And many thanks indeed for today's activities. You helped me form some clues to move forward. Very grateful. How much more can you ask from that? So I'm just going to say at 2 minutes after time, thank you so much again to Jesper and Petra. And to all of you for coming in. I can only say the group wasn't as large as signed up, but you were all exactly the right people. Thank you very much.